everybody, and welcome to Just Another Nerdy Podcast. I'm Jay. For those of you who don't know, we are a podcast who do the weekly news. We also interview streamers about their situations, and pretty soon we're going to be starting a Dungeons and Dragons segment as soon as I can get my life together on things. You can catch us live sometime on Monday, depending on the streamer schedule, Wednesday at noon, and then you'll be able to catch the Dungeons and Dragons Fridays on our podcasting audio platform. So if you want, you can check us out here live on Twitch. You can also watch everything over at YouTube. Just Google Just Another Nerdy Podcast. You'll see this mug holding 2 Surge cans. And then you can download us and put a little bit of nerdy in your pocket at Google Play, iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and CastBox, if that's your speed. But today, I am being joined by the amazing and wonderful Butt Juice Soup. How you doing today, sir? I'm awake. I got my tea and I'm good to go. Yeah, that's about where I'm at right now. I'm like, So for those who are curious, Butt Juice, why don't we talk a little bit about you, sir? So Butt Juice is a streamer. Just a little introduction on how I got to know Butt Juice. I was chilling out. I've been tweeting. I've been twiddling the twist. I've been tweeting a lot. And Butt Juice, I tripped along Butt Juice somewhere in conversation, and he DM'd me and started asking me questions about me. He wanted to know who I was. That's how awesome he is. He didn't DM me links to go follow him. He didn't DM me all this junk. He said, "Hey, who are you?" and started having a discussion with me. And next thing I knew, I was sending him photos of my groceries. I don't know why. So oh. Oh, well, so yeah, that's a good question. That's what I would love to ask you about. So do you just personally reply? Is that what you do? You just, okay. So, so that's the thing. Like, I was reading some social media marketing strategies, or checking out Nugget Meal. Hey, how's it going, Nugget Meal? Nugget Meal is a follower on my stream. She's quite awesome. So I've been reading strategies, and like the best thing that I ever read was instead of dropping links and whatnot, you can like it's still in the questionable territory, but the thing that won me over on the idea was like just instead of dropping a link in your auto reply, just having questions pop up. Like, and tell me about you as a person, and then you have an actual discussion. Hang on, Nuggy Meal. Just give me 1 second. Apparently, or not Nuggy Meal. Hang on, Bud Juice. Just 1 second. I'm so sorry. We're running into a few technical difficulties. Okay, drop me some knowledge real quick.
All right, so a little bit of knowledge.
Okay,
So,
great.
I never knew of the auto replies, but when I first started out, when you first start out, you said, okay, you always hear, I want to make a bunch of friends, but there's no real manual to doing it. So my first thought is, if I want to make actual connections with people, if I want to make actual friends that will come to my stream and I'll come to their stream, if I give them an auto reply, that is the most robotic, like informal thing I could possibly ever do to their stream. It basically means, hey, I do this to everyone. You're just a person. Come follow my my socials, and maybe I'll stop in if I have time. And it's heartbreaking. Like, the guy, it broke my heart. I thought he actually wanted to hear about my day because I was having a hard one. It was a rough day, and I was
Oh,
like, "Oh,
damn.
he's gonna care." And then I saw it, and it was an auto reply. I was like, "That's a mean one. That's a dirty trick." But
So so say you
yeah,
see it's an auto reply, but let's say they don't put any links in there. They just ask you a straight question like how's your day? They don't put anything else in there. They just say how's your day or what type of games do you like to play? Is that still a turnoff for you if it's
yeah,
an
because
auto reply?
they didn't personally they didn't check
Okay.
out the page. It feels like they don't care about. That's what becomes so informal about it. It's Twitch is about personalization, being there. Like it's about feeling, even if people don't, even if they're just looking out for their stream, which people do, and I don't blame them. If that's how you want to run your stuff, that's the way you run your stuff. At least seem like you care because people out there do care. Like I care. I want to, I want to know what games you're into. I want to see. I lurk you all the time at work. When I watched your Skyrim stream, I hear you talk to chat. I love people. I want to know what people think and what people are doing and what they feel about games. That's the first thing I always say. What do you stream? Because it's such an integral part of your stream is what game you play, and it tells me so much about you. You'll have the guys that are like, yeah, I play COD, and it's like it's special, and you're not going to find that out by just auto replying. And because you'll gather Twitch followers, sure, because people are like, maybe he's going to follow me, follow for follow, lurk for lurk, but you're never really going to have the connection. It's just going to be I love what I like seeing is I sometimes go to Twitch channels and I see like 2,000 viewers, 2,000, I'm sorry, like 2,000 followers and like 500 views. I'm like, are they, did they even stream or are they just lurking Twitter for follows? I don't understand it, but I think making personal connections, seeing people really care about you not only as a streamer but as a person, that's kind of what makes Twitch more special than anywhere else.
Yeah, I mean, I'm starting to like. I've been like I was reading for the magic ticket. The how do I optimize doing this without the work and blah 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 blah. And I'm realizing like social networking is just social networking. Like you need to actually talk to people, have conversations with them, be friends with them. And the more I do it, the more fun I have, and the more that I meet fun people. And luckily, like when I was starting to hit that stride, I
Mhm.
met you. Like it was a great conversation right off the bat. And it was a great way to kind of kick things off, because I mean, you're a really good conversationalist, and so when you asked, hey, what do you stream? And so interestingly enough, there's a story at the same time that I was talking to you. I had
Mhm.
another guy messaging me at the exact same time, and he said, hey, I followed you on Twitch. Are you going to follow me? And so I followed suit from you. I said, okay, well, what do you play? And he's like, I play Apex, I play Fortnite. I'm like, okay. In my own head, so the only reason, like the main reason why I followed you is because of the conversation we had. I'm not a
Yeah.
big Apex or Fortnite person,
Mhm.
but you and I had a great conversation. So hell yeah, I'm gonna drop in on your stream and listen and watch and see what you're doing and stuff. Whereas this other guy's like, this is what I stream. And I'm like, okay, not really sure. So I'm like, what? I tried to ask interesting things about him, and he'd be talking, and then just every other sentence he'd be like, yeah, but are you going to follow me? And then,
You feel like you're being held hostage.
yeah. And then I didn't reply because I was busy. I was doing something. And then I looked back and he goes, well, I unfollowed you. And
He pulled out the old rug. Oh,
yeah, and I'm like, well, if I was gonna follow you before, I sure as hell am not gonna follow you now. Like, you dick. I don't know. That was my thought.
It
I was like,
sounds like I see a lot of that where if someone's like, "Can you please follow me?" It'd mean the world if you followed me. And I was like, "Sure." And I'll go to their stream, and there's no cam. They're not talking. There's no mic. It's just, it's just literally the Fortnite play, and they're not very good because if they were like fantastic, if you're Tifu and you want to play Fortnite without a cam without notifications, without anything, you're still a really good player. So you
Yeah.
can still like really hold people's attention with your crazy gameplay. If you're not a good player, no one's gonna go to your stream without you talking, without you doing anything to watch your awful skills at Fortnite. You know, you gotta.
Well, and that was exactly like I popped in and watched, because if I'm interested in someone, I will pop in and watch
Yeah.
a little bit of their videos. Like I'll see if they have clips. If they don't have clips, I'll check their video and I'll scroll around in the video. And the guy didn't say a single word anywhere I popped in a 2-hour video. And I said, "Do you have a mic?" And he goes, "Yeah, I got a mic. I talk." And I'm like, "Well, clearly not enough." Like, you know,
Where are you, sir?
yeah, it's like you need to talk. Like for me, I don't even care about the gameplay. Like I like the conversation, you know. So because it's not my type of game, so I have to.
I
know
could
what
go
the people are
anywhere
about.
on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, anywhere. I can see awful Fortnite playing. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Your awful Fortnite playing is not as special as everyone else's.
I
Like,
can play awful Fortnite playing. Like that's me. Like
I've tried to stream. So I tried to stream Fortnite. Two things happen. Number one, everyone leave because they know two things are going to happen. Number one, I'm going to die within the first 3 seconds. Number two, I'm going to get tilted as I die. I always say this about Fortnite. If I wanted to be emoted on top of by children, I would play Fortnite. Because that's usually what ends up happening.
Oh.
Don't you all? It's been tried and true. It's literally what happens every time. And I have like my regulars are in there. They're like, "Why are you doing this to yourself?" I'm like, "This time will be different." They're like, "It's never different."
This time. So I played about.
This time it's different. This time I somehow grew skill.
I played about 30 seconds of Fortnite one time. I had a panic attack because I had no friends to play with, and I just quit. I was like, "I'm done. I can't. I don't know what to do. I'm done." and so
Yeah,
I never
I had
went
a
back
kid
to it.
playing on Switch who had like a mic, but it was like it was like a jerry rigged mic, and I was like, "Hello." He was like,
phone.
I was like, "Oh no, I can't do this the entire time." And I'm like trying to build, and all I just hear in this muffled voice is build, build, build. I'm like, no, and then I died, and he's just talking crap about me in that muffled, horrible mic'd voice, and I'm like, I hate this game. I hate this game, and I just I stopped streaming it. I just hated it so much.
So what's the difference for Apex for you? Do you actually because you stream Apex, and I'm not
I streamed Apex last night. Last night was my first full-time Apex stream. I streamed with can I say another streamer's name?
Drop all the names as this is
I don't know the rules.
Yeah.
I streamed with the Dom Dominator 64. He's not an affiliate yet. He's a couple away from affiliate. I've been helping him out a lot. He DM'd me on Twitter and he was like, "Can you help me with my stream?" And if anyone asks me that, I become almost like a stage mom. I put everything of my soul into them. I'm like, "I'm gonna make you the best streamer of all time. You're gonna be a crazy good streamer." And he was like, "This is a little much, but okay." He's like a quiet accountant. He's like, "Oh my god, so much information." And I'm like, "You gotta do this, you gotta do that.
Take it all in."
Yeah, I'm just like screaming at him. And he's like, "This is so much. I'm sorry."
Well,
I'm like, "I'm trying the best I can."
Well,
but, okay. Go ahead.
Quick question. How long have you been streaming for?
I've been streaming for about a year. So, this is going to sound awful, but you know what? Let's go with it. Valentine's Day was my first day streaming. Valentine's Day of last year. I'm happily married. I'm married for about 2 years. I'm kidding.
Okay.
She's actually lovely woman. I've been dating her for about 7 years. We've been married for about 2 years. Last year she had to work on Valentine's Day, a long shift. So at the time, this is probably gonna thread into why I started streaming.
Yeah, that's good. That's one of the questions.
I'll just go with all of it. Let me just take over the podcast real quick.
That's cool.
ask myself the questions. So in it was about September of 2017. I worked really hard to get this job. It was a job I was doing reality TV casting and development. It was a job that I had worked very hard to get. It was a job I was criminally underpaid in, and I put my all into it. All of my creative abilities, all of my heart. Whenever I work somewhere, I put my everything into it. Um, it didn't work out in September of 2019. I was 2017. I was fired. I had no job prospects. I went to a ton of interviews. I'm usually on the technical side of it, so working creatively was a big step for me, and it just didn't work out. So I tried to look for stuff in creative fields, didn't find anything. I felt like I was too out of touch to work technical, like on the technical side of it. So I went through a 9-month period of just complete depressed unemployment. I didn't really know what I was going to do. We just before I became unemployed, we bought a house. We bought a house. So um I had, unemployment. I just basically maxed out all my credit cards, and it wasn't even at money for that point. I'm just in February of 2018. I just looked at my wife. We were eating dinner, and we were eating a dinner we couldn't afford, and I was just like, I gotta do something because I'm going insane. I'm like, I need to do something to basically save myself. So I started to stream. So Butt Juice Soup was never originally my original username. I had another one that was more like badass. It had a military title in it. It was called Major McCavo. It sounded like weird and cool and sort of Russian. But I started streaming at that, and nobody came. Nobody cared. I was just another face playing another AAA game in a sea full of faces playing AAA games. So, I went to my friend had a party, and it was a Nintendo Switch party where he had Mario Kart. And when he was there, a family, they named all of their thing. The dad was named Papa Butt Juice. The mom was named Mama Butt Juice, and the kids were named like Little Butt Juice and Butt Juice Junior. And I was like, oh, that's so cute. And they're all called Butt Juice. That's really funny. So I was like, maybe like I like the name Butt Juice, but how do I make it my own? So my first thought was, let's do Butt Juice Stew, and I put it into Xbox, and somebody had already taken it. Some monster in the Xbox universe is named Butt Juice Stew, and it disappointed me to no end. So I ended up calling myself Butt Juice Soup. Miraculously untaken. Spoiler alert, about 6 months later, Xbox took my name away because they're monsters that don't like to have fun. So new Xbox name is Butt Juice with one T. Because that's all I can do. But I started the stream on Valentine's Day. Nobody came. My original my original plan for growing on Twitch was I do my butt juice, song and dance. I yell and I scream and I, say weird things is spaghetti. And I do, all of that. And then after this, I only used to stream absolutely just Overwatch. I was just purely an Overwatch streamer. And after I would do like my butt juice song and dance, at the very end of the game, I would plug my stream.
Okay.
And I would have a goal. I'm like, okay, so they like my, it's not like I'm saying, hey, follow me and I'll follow you, holding you. Follow me, I won't follow you. But I was like, you like what I do, we play the same game. Why don't you come over? And through that, I was able to make a couple real connections. A kid named Brady, one of my stream best friends, a man named Mr. Wingles. Mr. Wingles, by the way, my first donation ever, one of my first subscribers ever. He was the one that helped me get to affiliate. Beautiful, beautiful man, Mr. Wingles. He actually, this is basically like like everything to me. Mr. Wingles sent in the mail a computer, an old Mac Mini 2014. and that gave me the ability to actually stream with overlays.
Oh,
And
okay.
that changed my stream entirely. It meant the absolute world to me, and I will always be in Mr. debt. But this is not about Mr. Wingle. So we we so yeah, I started building a sense of community. It wasn't actually until January of this year that I started stepping up my Twitter game, because January of this year I started off with 48 followers because I didn't really care about it. I would just do going live notifications. I'm sitting strong right now at about 900 followers. So that's in about a month and a half.
Wow.
So I'm doing, and it's mainly straight me being funny and stupid to messaging people, forming real connections. And from all of that, my stream's grown too. I mean, my goal this year was I wanted to average in a month, I wanted to average double digit views. That was viewers. That was my big, like, I was like, I need to form more connections. I want to see more streams. I want them to see me. And I right now I'm at 9. So
You're almost there.
Yeah, I started off this year, I averaged 4.
Yeah.
And now I'm averaging 9, and it seems insane.
Well, so when I started a long time ago, I got up to 9 at one point, and that was right before Fallout 4 had come out. I was playing Fallout 3. People were like, "Oh my gosh, this is how long ago I streamed." People were like, "Holy crap." I changed between jobs about 3 times in that span. I was working at a video game store, and then I switched to running a deli, and now I'm just like a waiter, which is whatever.
That's a life right there. That's a story.
Yeah, so I switched between all those, but and then I really kind of fell off the wagon, and I started getting back on this year, and my biggest problem is when I started streaming with Red Dead when I restarted here soon, Red Dead 2. And it was just one of those things where it's like, I don't care who watches me. I'm having so much fun playing that game. Like, I have so many really fun clips out of the game. Nuggy Meal actually here is 90% of the reason why I have so many clips, because she was clipping me falling off of horses all the time. But it was, and I'm starting to gain traction again. Like, before I was doing 1, maybe 2 viewers, and now I'm jumping up to 4 or 5. And that's from like you. There's a couple other people like the Rocker Angel that pop in, and it's all from Twitter. Like, Twitter really, really helps. It's as long as you're out there having conversations, like you said, being goofy and having fun. It's just a blast. So we kind of got a little bit into your Twitch story. Oh, and you told me where butt juice came from, which was my most curious. I was incredibly curious as to where butt juice.
I stole it.
Where butt juice came from. You stole it. What the big question? So I popped in on your stream last night.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize this was a thing. I thought someone had just clipped you. The one clip that I shared out was you doing like kind of a song and dance.
The sauces.
Yeah, so then I saw something with sauces last night, like a barbecue sauce. You're doing this song and dance. In the middle of it, you slam some barbecue sauce and go right back into it. So let's talk about this thing. I need to know what this thing is. I want to know.
Okay, so
could describe it to me a little better than, because I caught in about halfway, and I was just like, he's singing, he slammed barbecue. Like, there's a spin wheel. Barbecue sauce, he's singing now, and then he just slams some damn barbecue sauce, and then he's back into it. And then I was, my wife's like, pay attention to it. I'm like, oh shit, okay. So I didn't get to watch that
this
much.
Man is drinking barbecue sauce, and she's like, what? And you both start watching it. I've gotten that before where what was it? I had a streamer. She was watching me on her television at home, like her 65-inch television with like her children. And I'm sitting there just like slamming ranch dressing down my throat. And the kids are like, what's the man doing? And she's like, I don't know. So I didn't really. So I hear this a lot. I feel like I would be tricked by a traveling snake oil salesman where he's like, if you put this on this skin, your skin will turn to fire and you can shoot fire at people. And I'll be like, take everything I have, take everything. But so I watch a lot of videos about how to make your stream better, about network stuff like that because I'm an unfeeling animal. But I one of the things I said is I was like, they keep talking about content. Like, what is content? What can I do that's different content? So originally what I first saw was there's a streamer out there named Impartial Sanity. She is another huge streamer that I always host and I love to death. Ellie, she's a wonderful, wonderful person. Um, she does a bean boozled. I know a lot of streamers do that, but for like 100 bits, $1 donation, whatever, she'll eat a bean boozle and it'll be like the bean boozle's like, it's a brown, jelly bean. It could be barf flavored or it could be caramel flavored, and she'll eat it and either she'll be like, oh, that's a good bean, or she'll be like, a bad bean. So I was like, I need to do this, but every single bean is barf. Like I need to do something like, and it can't be, and you always see people do, we're gonna have a hot pepper stream, we're gonna eat hot peppers and our face is gonna turn red and we're gonna out loud a lot and blah, blah, blah. So I was like, what if I do like sauces and like some of them are hot, but some of them have like a weird consistency and like some of them are just straight up strange. And then the dance was never a part of it, but I made a Twitch playlist that I would listen to when I would play. I played a lot of Titanfall 2, still do, love the game. And in between games, I would lip sync and I would dance, and I see a lot of people seem to like it. So I was like, what if I danced and then at a really dramatic part in the dance, I just slurped down some sauce. And then the first time I did it, I remember one of my regulars, a guy named Night Slash, just said, "What period the period hell?" He was like, "I've never seen anything like that on Twitch ever." And I was like, done. Guess that's my thing now. So that's a big thing. So yeah, we got ranch hot sauce. We have hot pickle juice, which hot pickle juice is the worst because it has like peppers in it. It hurts my throat. The pickle juice hurts my eyes. It's the absolute worst. It always seems to land on hot pickle juice whenever I roll. It's like it's the actual worst. But like I haven't gotten ketchup in I don't think a month. I get ranch a couple times. I've gotten barbecue a lot, and I just get pickle juice every single time. I don't think I've had a hot sauce since like mid-January. It just keeps being pickle.
Oh man. Yeah, I saw that last night and I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but this is entertaining as hell. Like it's something new. Like the song you were doing before, my favorite, like when you start using your hands and going up and down when there's not really a lyric, like that was. But what's really funny is I was hanging out with my parents last night, and I said, yeah, I got a new Twitch streamer interview coming up tomorrow, and they're like, oh really? They're like, tell us about it. And I'm like, well, this guy's name, and they're like, what? And I'm like, it's butt juice soup. And my mom's just like, what? and then I was like,
throws you off, but the name also engages. Who is this butt juice soup? You just imagine me like rising like a phoenix from a puddle of butt juice.
From a puddle of butt juice. So then I was like, okay, Mom. And I held up that video of you singing next to my face. I'm like, who does this remind you of? And she's like, dear God, it's you. And I was like, I guess.
So I found a streamer that actually looks like me. And I messaged him and I go, are you me? And then he messaged me back. He goes, real question is, are you me? It was like one of those moments where you're like, dude, are we us?
Just the two Spider-Mans pointing at each other, like
yeah, pretty much. We're like, who are we if we are not us and you are I?
What is happening? I've met my doppelganger in person before. And it's so well. Okay, so my real name is not Jay, but I go by Jay because it's simpler. However, this guy's name was Jay, and I wonder if I came back from the future.
You just change it. You give into the and you just become that person. Here's a fun fact: my name actually isn't Butt Juice.
Oh, what? What?
Whenever someone asks me, they go, "Is Butt Juice your real name?" I go, "It's my Christian name. It's in Leviticus."
It was given to me by Father Pastures. Like,
my father was a butt juice. His father was a butt juice. I come from a long and proud line of butt juices.
oh, that's great. That's great. So okay, so what, like, say you have people coming in
Yeah.
to your stream. What do you think your niche is? What void do you think you fill on Twitch?
I try to be a couple things, but so you'll find with Twitch that you want to be things, but the viewer will never let you be what you want to be. You know, I want to be an advice streamer, but no one ever asks me for advice. No one cares. I know what I am deep in my heart. I'm an entertainment streamer through and through. I'm a loud yeller. I do weird, quirky things. Like people don't come to me for life-changing advice. People come to me to see my song and dance, to hear me yell, to see very mediocre gameplay, like almost aggressively mediocre gameplay. And they come because they know I actually care about them. That's the big thing. I can tell you, there's a guy who named himself "I Love Butt Juice Soup." He went out. He's a high schooler. He went out for his wrestling quarterfinals and he lost. You know, I know Junkrat Main had trouble with bullying at his school. So I tell him the same advice I tell every kid that's bullied. There's a show out there called Steven Universe. There's a song out there called "Here Comes a Thought." I actually printed it out and I put it on my desk at work. It's a thing that helps you with anxiety and your mind kind of wandering. So I say just listen to the song, sing along with it, take a breath, come back. You know, I actually these aren't just names. These aren't just Junkrat Main, I Love Butt Juice, Wingles. You know, this isn't just names to me. Jay. These are people. These are people with lives. These are people that spend time in their life. We only have so much time in our lives. They spend time in their life talking with me and watching me. And the very, very minimum I can do is just learn a little bit about them. You know?
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing I like to do whenever people pop in. I like to ask interesting things about them. Nuggy Meal here, she's an artist, and you're Nuggy Meal. Are you a psych major? Is that what you think? I think you told me you're a psych major. But I like to ask people about them now because you want to get to know them. It was something I was worried about originally because I don't want people to being like, "Whoa, predator, get out of here," you know, like I'm just a Twitch streamer.
Kind of the line
honestly.
between Twitch streamer and friend and everything like that. It's about kind of respect. You don't the one thing you can't do, especially as a Twitch streamer, is you can't ask them very specific questions like, "Oh, you go to school? What school do you go to?" That's crossing the line.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's like, or if they go to college, you can say, "Okay, what college do you go to?" I'm not, you know, say a person goes to, like, say a college. Let's say they go to Colorado State. I'm not going to Colorado State and searching them out, but you also have to know, you know, there's a reason their name is, you know, Nuggy Meal and not their name, because we communicate almost semi-anonymously because we want the human interaction, but we don't want the burden of people knowing us. You know, a lot of people, you know, next Sunday there's a guy on my stream named High Def Static. I found out he lives in my area. I'm gonna go out and grab a drink with him. And it's going to be the first time that I actually met someone that's been on my stream. And to my wife, who's a very private person, that's terrifying, because this is, her whole thing was, I'll allow you to be butt juice, but on the on the message that you are just butt juice, you are not you as a person, because to me that's very scary. What if they look you up? What if they come to you work? What if they her big thing is she's afraid of being swatted. She goes, what if they swat you and the police come in and kill the dogs? She doesn't care about me. I can get shot a million times, but if someone even touches the dog on its head wrong, she's gonna freak out.
Yeah.
So there's a line between respecting that they are a viewer or a streamer and you are a streamer and this is the relationship, but also knowing just as much about them that you can help them through things. Hey, my parents are fighting a lot. Junkrat Main told me that my parents are fighting a lot. It's all good, Dom. Hey, my parents are fighting a lot, and I let him know my parents got divorced when I was younger. Fighting a lot is never a good thing. Sometimes they'll work through it, sometimes they won't. Just few things. Number one, it's not your fault. Number two, you can't stop it. And number three, like, the more you carry it, the more it's going to weigh on you. So this is why I would be a good advice streamer. Nobody wants my advice. This is good stuff here. This is content.
I think it carries, though.
Do your song and dance, butt juice.
Do your song and dance. Oh, someone just followed. Welcome to Just Another Nerdy Podcast. Let me see if I can get this it'll take a second to load.
It's the Don Dominator. I played Apex.
It's Don. Okay, thank you, Don. Well, so Don and I've been talking to Don too, because I'm wanting to play around a little bit with I want to play around a little bit with design and stuff, and I just finished my channel, kind of updating my stuff. I need to rework all of the Just Another Nerdy Podcast stuff. But I told Don, I was like, do you want me to do some work on your channel for fun? And he's like, yeah, if you want to. He's like, he's like, and I'm like, it's free, don't worry about it. And he's like, I don't want to put you out or anything. I'm like, no, Rocker Angel, what's up? Sorry.
Rocker Angel coming Diehm.
Welcome. So I'm gonna, and that'll be probably my next stream. Like right after this, I'm probably gonna do some design work for his channel. Sit down and just see. It's gonna be a lot of experimenting and fun stuff. But I want to get into it and do it for fun, because I've been streaming for a long ass time, and I've been through the ropes. And, I may not be like way up here, but I'm learning things, and I like to share what I learn and play around with stuff. And so, I was working on, and by the way, so I watched a video a little while ago from, is it Guy Level? Yeah, Guy Level, about laying out your profile page on Twitch. And his thing is, he talks about the top thing being your bio, your about me. Mm-hmm. And I got on Don's thing, and his about me is just he wrote a killer about me. Like, it was really nice. So
it's hard to write a good bio. I'm gonna probably rewrite mine, because it just says turn down your headphones.
Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. What's up?
Sorry, something beeped up a little bit there. Yeah, no, I read yours, and I'm like, that sounds like your personality, like that works.
But you don't really know anything else.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. That's true. But I mean, I enjoyed it so far. So let's talk about gaming and stuff a little bit.
Let's go gaming.
When
I'm a hub of gaming.
So you and I are fairly close in age, I would say. I'm 30. You said you're in your bio, you say you're about 28, right?
I'm 20. I'm going to be 29 next month.
29. Awesome. Yeah. Okay, so you lived in the golden era of things kind of starting and changing. Like, we got to experience a massive amount of change in gaming. That's just when I look at Red Dead Redemption 2 and then I go back and I play a Super Nintendo game, it blows my freaking mind. What did you start with? What did you first start playing?
So when I first started gaming, my dad bought a Super Nintendo. And so I started on Super Mario World, Super Mario All Stars. I wish I could speed run it because the only game I would ever be able to speed run is Super Nintendo Aladdin. I can beat it right now,
Oh,
probably the entire game in about 30 flat.
I have a friend who
Um,
does that too. Like and he doesn't stream it. I tell him he should, but he plays Aladdin. I don't know if it's Super Nintendo or Sega, but he plays it like crazy.
it's a very fluid game. It's a game that you could really kind of combo jumps together in order to, and also like falling and everything is very very fast. So I started on Super Nintendo. I then got a Nintendo 64 and it changed my entire life. Platformers, Banjo Kazooie, Super Mario World, Super was it Super Mario 64, Mario Kart, a bunch of those games. It just really kind of blew the top off for me. I was never able to really like, I would get bored with games except for some here and there, like Banjo Tooie. I did the whole way through. I was never really good. And then my next console was I got a PlayStation. I've never been a PlayStation person. I have a PS3. That's the last one I have. It's basically they're closing down things for it. It's Dead Boys. But the big thing I got is I got the original Xbox, and my foray into first person shooters, other than GoldenEye, was a game called Star Wars Republic Commando.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know if you remember that game, but it is such a weird game. The knife doesn't really work except for sometimes.
Is that the
The
one with the stormtrooper on the front?
yes, and
Okay.
the song at the beginning is like
Well, so we used to have to test that at the video game store that I worked at. The one that I
it's
worked at was like all retro. Like we took in everything. We took in any
mhm.
type of game. And so that one would come through quite a bit. And I would listen to the younger kids yell at the screen as they're testing it because they can't get anywhere because they move at like a very slow pace. It was
It's
it was
sometimes, yeah,
hysterical.
it was very slow, but it was like my first foray into the first person shooter. And I was like, and it was not only the first person shooter, it was the first time I had a mic and they had proximity chat. And I could
Right.
just hear people being angry as I killed them. And that was a life changer. That was a life changer because then I got Halo 2.
Oh
And
yeah.
incredible because I would camp with a shotgun, watch someone walk through the door and blast them out of their shoes and hear just how absolutely upset they were.
That's
And I
awesome.
remember I was playing Halo. I was in a dorm room and I was playing Halo 4. It was like Halo 3 or 4. And I was talking to this guy. I was like, "Yeah, I go to this college." And he goes, "Yeah, me too." I was like, "Oh shoot, I live in this dorm." He goes, "Yeah, me too." I was like, "No." And I was like, "What floor are you on?" He's like, "Second." I was like, "What room are you in?" He's like, 202. I go, "I'm in 201." We were next door to each other. We were literally we didn't team or anything. We just matched up. We did a worldwide matchup and we just so happened to be right next to each other and match up in the same game. I've never had that in my life. It was incredible. It was an incredible moment. I don't think about many things.
That's, oh wow. So okay. So that's a cool evolution. You're playing on Xbox now, aren't you?
I am playing on Xbox One. I am
Okay.
so my birthday is next month, and I told my family because usually they get me like here and there. Hey, you might like this. Hey, you might like that. And I asked my wife because our entire tax refund I'm giving to her. I'm like, it's yours. Like,
Right.
take it, do what you want with it. But I go for my birthday. Her grandma gives me a good chunk of change. My family will give me like a little bit of cash here and there. I'm going to use all that to upgrade my stream entirely. So right now, this is going to be funny to you as someone who knows video gaming. I'm streaming on a 720p TV.
Oh, okay.
it cuts off information. I can't see maps. I can't see sometimes my health. It's
Ooh,
720p.
that is tough.
I got this TV in 2008. So it's bad. And I want to get a new monitor. See, one of the couple things I need, I have a stream room as you saw before. The walls are very barren. It looks like I'm playing games in a jail cell.
Right.
So I'm going to get a couple decorations for the back. I'm also going to get a rug because nothing absorbs sound in this room. So when I'm doing my song and dance, it wakes up my wife from her deep slumber. I actually
Ooh.
have to put a sheet in between the cracks of the door so that she can't hear me do like butt juicing.
Yeah, you know what? So my wife, the reason why we're doing a morning interview as opposed to like a later at night interview is because she goes to sleep early. And there's been too
Yeah.
many times where I'll wake up the next day and she's be like, "You were so loud." And I'm like,
I
"I
I
am
hear the
so
same thing. She
sorry."
goes, "You were screaming," and I'm trying to go. She's like, "You." I go to work at 10:30 every morning, so it's not the worst, And my work is about a 10-minute drive. It's not even a commute, but she goes to work in a different state, like, and it's like an hour. It's like an hour drive, so she has to get up at like 6 and so she goes to sleep at like 9, 10. I start my stream at 10. So if she usually texts me during the game, and usually my chat no, we call her she doesn't want people knowing her name, so we call her Tiny Wife because she's 5 foot, very small lady, but she's a very angry lady as well. So she'll actually text me, and so I'll be playing a game and I'll be and then I'll look down and I'll see a text from her, and she goes, "You can't do this tonight. Like, it's way too loud." So I'll be like, "Okay, guys, after this game, I'm gonna break." And I'll see in the chat, I'll just say tie why, because they'll know she texted me, and I gotta improve the room. I gotta stick more of the sheets in the cracks of the door, or I gotta do stuff to make it quieter because she complained.
Yeah, it's tough for me. Even if I'm like trying to be quiet, I'm still just a little too loud sometimes. And she gets up at the crack of dawn. The crack of
Yeah.
dawn. It's hard. So I do a lot of more like afternoon streaming when she's gone, but sometimes I do interview. Like I actually was on another podcast the other day, and luckily she slept through everything because like I had pushed the filing cabinet that's behind me in front of the door to kind of change the framing, and when I was pushing it back, something fell off, and I put my hand on it to hold it against the wall, and it just slammed, and it was the
Ooh.
loudest noise. And I was waiting for it the next day. I waited 30 minutes to go to bed because I didn't want my wife to murder me. And the next day she's like, "Yeah, I slept like a baby." I was like, "You didn't hear anything?" And she's like, "No, why?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't
I
know."
hate when that happens because I'm loud, and when I'm being tried, she'll be like, "You're entirely too loud," and she'll be like, "Yeah, I didn't hear a thing, didn't just completely slept." Like so what? Here's a tip for all the guys out there. Do you sleep with a fan?
No.
If you sleep with a fan, get a loud fan. So I have a loud fan, and me and my wife sleep with a fan. So it's loud. It drowns out most of me. So I've been able for the past couple nights to really go all out, and she hasn't heard a thing.
That's a great idea.
It's a way for her to be happy because all she hears is a fan, but then also it's a great way for me to kind of be able to do because when I first moved, I used to stream in my living room. I now have my own dedicated stream room. It used to be bad. It used to be very, very loud when I moved to the stream room because it's empty. There's nothing. There's only a couple things on the wall. There's no rug. I need to get a rug. Um, so I needed a way to. The stream suffered because I had to be quiet. I had to talk like this. I had to
Yeah.
talk like I was a hot ASMR streamer. Thank you so much for joining me today. But that was a joke for me. I didn't care.
So
Thought that was fun.
quick question then. Since we're on the topic of advice and whatnot.
Yeah.
If you were to have advice for aspiring streamers, say that they're gonna pop it, they're gonna see this. What advice would you have for them?
Couple
Um,
for aspiring streamers. Number one, find a niche. Find something that's going to make you different. That's such vague advice, and it's bad, but it's true. If you find something like I was you had podcast before. She's got a thing going. She's got like a really like specific thing that she can build a community around. You
Zolthara,
know?
yeah.
Zoltar, she's got like that's what I like about her. She's got like a thing going. Find your game. You don't like if you want to stream Fortnite. Just know your first 6 months you're going to be streaming for yourself
Yep.
until you build up a community, which comes to a second part. If you want to build a community, know which social media platform fits your aesthetic, fits what you do best. I'm funny, kind of. So Twitter seems to be doing well for me because some of my off the cuff thoughts I just tweet and people absolutely love. They go crazy. Like I don't know if you saw my pin tweet.
Not yet.
It's my pin tweet. This is kind of like my aesthetic. So it says,
Oh yeah, okay.
yeah, the mechanics. What seems to be the problem? Me. My car keeps making a weird noise when I step on the gas, and then I step on the gas, and my car says, "Oh yeah, stomp me hard, daddy." So that's like it's like a weird off the cuff thing I thought of when I was pumping gas. When me and my wife were coming back from dinner, I was pumping gas, and I was like, "Oh, this would be funny to tweet." I tweeted it. It's at 66 likes, 16 retweets. That's not a lot, but that's enough for me. That's a lot for me.
Yeah,
If you're
yeah.
if you're more of like, I find that women streamers do a lot better on Instagram.
Well,
So
they have.
they do well. They do well. They do a lot better on Instagram. I know a girl named Alien of the Moon. She built her entire following. She streams in front of like 60 people. Like she's really good. And she's built her stuff. She has like sponsors and stuff on Instagram. I do well on Twitter. She does well on Instagram. If you're a content creator like yourself, I know you're probably killing it on YouTube. You're good on Twitter, but you're probably killing it on YouTube as well.
Oh, I
You seem to be a
wish.
really
I
creative
wish.
guy.
We're working on it, but YouTube's algorithm is something I still need to like sit down and really learn because it's a pain. Like,
Yeah, but once you learn it and once you get it going, it should be good. But so always find like I didn't really start growing. Also, never be afraid to plug your stream, but also be aware of the streams that you're in. So this is kind of how I do it, and I'm going to start secrets. When I was talking to my wife about the podcast, she goes, "Don't give away any of your butt juice trade secrets." I go, "No one could do my stream except for me because
yeah.
I don't have insane overlays. I don't have any secrets. If you took away me from my stream, all you get is a bad stream." It's just a lazy. The overlays are old and boring. The notifications are big. All I have is a loyalty system. Like if you strip away everything except for my demeanor, the stream is not that good. I'm working on improving it, but it's not that good. So find something that's truly you and never be afraid. Go into people's chat, go into a Twitch partners chat and just be like, and just talk to them a little bit. Talk to usually smaller streamers do better, especially ones like usually you want to hit people that are either the same number of viewers or you, a little bit more. And what you do is you go in there, start talking about them. Hey, what are you doing? What kind of game are you playing? Talk to them like they're a human being, not like they're, a lot of people look at people with a lot of followers. I hate people that come in, drop their info, and then leave. It feels like almost like they're flashing you. And it's like, it is. It's like they come there, they do something you don't want them to do for their own enjoyment, and then they leave. And it's like, it's really upsetting. Like, go in there, be a person, network, talk to people. Everyone says network. They're so afraid of network. Everyone like gets all stiff when they hear network. Okay, let me put it this way. we're in a ballroom with a bunch of people. We're at a work conference. What if instead of talking to people, I just handed out my business card to every single person? Every time I handed out my business card, I would just leave.
Yep.
Hand out business card, next person. Hand out business card, next person. They'd be like, who the hell is this person? I will never give anything in my life. Like, they're so rude and impersonal.
It
Like,
makes me
talk
think
to
of
me.
I like the comparison of dating a little bit in the sense that, like, have you ever seen that Mad TV sketch where the guy comes up to the lady and he's like, can I have your number? Can I have your number? And just
Yeah,
like
I remember that.
aggressively like yells that at her face, like, can I have your number? That's what it feels like to me when people are like, follow me, follow me, follow for follow. You want me to follow you? I'll follow you. It's like, you if you want to date someone, or if you want someone to follow you on Twitch, you have to have an actual conversation, you know.
You need to form connections. Don Dominator, I didn't know the guy, but I messaged him, and I was just like, because no, he messaged me. I said, if you need help developing a Twitch persona, let me know. I've developed Butt Juice. Butt Juice is a developed. I treated it like it's a character. I treated it like Dr. Disrespect treats Dr. Disrespect. You know, he's a character. And I'm not this may shock you, Jay. This may shock you, but I don't go around in my real life screaming at people. I work in an office, a very quiet office. I'm a technician. I don't scream and throw my hands up and do butt juice everywhere.
You don't slam ranch dressing in the middle of
I
an
don't
office.
slam ranch. Hey, butt juice, what are you doing? I'm like, oh. Start slamming some ranch.
You just
But
waving your hands.
my God,
then your boss is like,
what is up, guys? Butt Juice here, and I'm about to hit this barbecue sauce. But I said, does anyone need help, like, with your Twitch stream or your Twitch persona? And Dom messaged me, and he's like, I do. And I'm like, you don't know what you got yourself into. Now I'm gonna help you. Now it's on. I'm gonna be there for you.
Stage
we're
one attack.
We're gonna do this. And I've been plugging him. I've been playing with him. He's a cool guy, and I really enjoy, helping people out as much as possible. And I just feel like that's what makes Twitch special, is that stuff, just helping each other out, just building each other up. Because it's a weird concept to be like, I'm in this for myself. I'm like, then have fun streaming Fortnite for one person for 8 hours a day. No one's gonna want to help you if you don't want to help them. Treat others how you want to be treated. And don't do it out of a sense of obligation. Do it because you like people. It's so easy to say. It's so hard to hear, though.
It is. Well, okay, so I think that basically covers the gamut on our questions for today. Butt Juice, I just wanted to say thank you so much for popping in.
Anytime.
And having this conversation with us. Just real quick, do you have anything you want to say to the people that are in here?
Hey, man, I only got one thing. There's a lot of things in that are free and nice, kindness, generosity. But the thing that's the most free that you can give someone is a Twitch Prime, baby. Butt Juice Soup! Going at you.
Okay, well, guys, thank you so much for watching. We're going to be back on Wednesday at noon. It's going to be noon central. We're going to be talking a little bit about that new Samsung Galaxy flip phone. We're going to be talking about the Reggie Fils-Aimé retirement. And then we're also going to be talking about the possibility of Xbox Game Pass on the Nintendo Switch, or the lack thereof, in my own personal opinion. I'm also going to do a mini review of Alita Battle Angel, because I just watched that with my pops. last night or yesterday afternoon. I don't know when, really. We watched it yesterday. So that's what we're going to be up to this week. Keep an ear out on the iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and CastBox. We're going to be doing... so we put all of our audio up there, but we're going to be dropping some Dungeons and Dragons up there as well. We started playing Dungeons and Dragons a while ago. It's going to be a little spotty for a little while because my schedule is kind of off. The other guys are still playing, so we're going to have to catch up on their adventures when we get back, but I'm going to be dropping a few episodes here, so keep an ear on that on Fridays. You can catch me streaming every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 9 a.m. Right now I'm working on Skyrim. We're going to be moving on to GTA 5. We're kind of doing a finish cleanup game. Please go check out Butt Juice Soup if you haven't already. He is fantastic and he's an incredibly supportive streamer. He also likes to slam random sauces in the middle of his singing, which is dope. He does not do singing streams. However, you're playing Apex right now, right?
I'm playing a little bit of Apex. I fell in love with it over the weekend. I badmouthed it when it first came out. Now I'm just the rest of everybody else just playing it.
Okay, what else do you stream?
Overwatch and Titanfall 2. So I mainly do Overwatch, but from time to time I just get sick of it because so I usually switch off between that and then I play Titanfall 2 and right now I'm playing Apex though, and yeah, I've been having fun playing Apex. I played with Dom yesterday. I might play it again tonight.
That's great.
I'm probably gonna upset like half of my just because they want to see me play Overwatch.
So, guys, if you haven't already, go over and check him out. Drop a follow. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, and if you haven't checked out our social media, we like to put up on Facebook the nerdy news that we're going to talk about for the week. And then we also, if you check us out on Twitter, at JA Nerdy Podcast, Tommy is taking over the Twitter page. And Tommy's one of those people that tweet things that make me want to argue with him. But he is the ultra nerdy to the max. So if you haven't checked out Tommy over on our JA Nerdy Podcast Twitter page, check us out there. Links are going to be in the description down below. You can click all the buttons down below. There are pictures, and jump in on our Discord if you can. We got a Discord family in there. We want to start talking more. It's too quiet in there, guys. So if you get a chance, go click on our Discord button. Guys, thank you so much for watching. We're going to see you next time. Next week, we're going to be trying to line up some more interviews as well. So bye.
Bye-bye.